Welcome to the Infinite Life Podcast. I'm your host, Katische Haberfield. This podcast is a journey of discovery as we learn how the soul evolves over various incarnations to understand all about the complexities of being a human being who has to bravely navigate viewing life as a non-dualistic struggle between good and evil through consciousness-raising experiences that test our valor.
Hello, welcome to the Infinite Life Podcast with Katische Haberfield. This is Diane Bovalino, Reiki Master and Yogi with Lotus Soul Healing Arts. And welcome to now, this is my session 3 on the Healer's Path. And this is the introduction to my final session. And this is my future life regression. And I just know you are going to love this because it was just amazing. So what you're going to see is Katische takes me into, it'll be 2 future lives. And I am a healer in my future life. And the kind of healer I am is totally 2 different kinds of healers. And the first healer, when I am in that life, Katische asks some really key questions. And one question she asks is, in my present life, did I overcome anything in order to help my future life? That's a really great question, and you'll see the answer on that. And also, I have an opportunity to, as Dianne, to ask that future life key questions, and we go back and forth. And my future life individual is answering Dianne, answering these questions. And it really gives me information that now is helping me as a healer in this life. Then I go to another life, another future life. And as that person, I'm doing a total different type of healing. And again, Katische brings out fantastic questions to ask my future life and really ask some great questions. For instance, out of the different type of healing modalities I'm doing, she finds out which ones did my future life like the best. So I just know you're going to love this session. And then at the end, we really have a chance for me to talk to my soul council. So I don't want to give any more away. It's a fantastic session. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. It's been great having a chance to introduce each session to all of you, and go out there and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Slower and longer breaths in your own time. And as you do this, you will see a staircase appear. And notice that this staircase goes upwards. So you can ascend, go up, rise up, higher and higher, like a staircase into the sky or a place of spacious radiance. Notice its color and texture. It can be white like marble, or made of light or like clouds that move you effortlessly higher with every step. Your thought to walk can take you up the staircase with 20 steps going up now. With 1, 2, becoming more aware. 3, 4, awareness expanding. 5, 6, as you go higher. 7, 8, the higher you go, the more the view opens up. So 9, you are less part of earthly dramas. 10, 11, and can breathe easy and free. Higher, 12, 13, and higher as you approach a dimension of insight and healing. 14, 15, up to a place where you can request your spirit guides to help you. 16, 17, requesting your higher self, inner wisdom, or superconscious mind to come forward to help you. 18, 19, to access all lifetimes. As you get ready to step up into a place of light, peace, and wisdom. That's it, with 20, now be there. Opening and stepping into this place of light and wisdom now. Notice if for you it's like a pristine crystal temple, or a place in nature like a light garden. A place of pure light energy. Find a place where you can relax completely and be filled and surrounded with light, refreshing and healing, with your plants and trees, red roses, orange fruits, yellow flowers, green plants, blue of the sky above, and a violet highlight of a flowering tree. I want you to scan and discover the most relaxed part of your body. And when you find the most relaxed part of your body, send that energy to each part of your body. And you'll see how suddenly all of your body is at exactly the same level of deep relaxation. And imagine now that you're reclining in a healing temple. Notice or create a crystal above you. Imagine it can send energy to your chakras from the red, yellow, and orange colors and energy of the lower chakras, opening, energizing your journey, connecting with the green of your heart chakra and the blue of your throat chakra, so you can feel and express your heartfelt truth. Up to your third eye and crown chakras. So focus now on your forehead and notice the sensations and colors of indigo. Focus now on the top of your head and notice the sensations and colors of violet. Imagine that whole body translucent and acceptance of your own inner wisdom. Notice the colors and swirling, opening energy that's guided to where your body needs it to repair and heal all lifetimes. Now you can invite your spirit guides. Send that request now by saying in your mind, I ask my spirit guides to come and help progress to future timelines relating to the healer's path. You have accessed resources and learned about blocks by regressing to the present and past life events and people. You have accessed your spirit guides and higher self. Now we ask for assistance from your soul group, directly or indirectly, to clear interactive karma with others on the healer's path, and to set new intent and dedication to help each other in future lifetimes. Now we ask for the assistance from the Soul Council, directly or indirectly, to clear blocking karma and realize new karmic actions that we can take in this life to fulfill our life purpose for this incarnation on the healer's path, and to realize where these can take us in future lives. You can confirm our intention. You can repeat in your own mind the following. I ask for guidance and inspiration for future actions on the healer's path. So saying it again in your own mind, I ask for guidance and inspiration for future actions on the healer's path. Okay, in your place with nature, with your healing temple, I want you to see a mirror that has the power to show information about your soul's future journey. Notice the shape and color of your mirror, and imagine your present day face reflected in the mirror. See your eyes and your inner energy. Now imagine your face a few years from now, acting as a healer that has moved or is moving to the next level of your healer's journey. Notice your energy and presence as a healer. Notice your body language, the way you move, the sound of your voice. Notice the place you're in and any people around you and how they respond to you. Now I want you to find or create a tunnel that can take you into a future life relating to your healer's path. Soon you can walk into the tunnel, and halfway down the tunnel you can find a mirror that can reflect your future life face. Then you can walk down the tunnel and into the future life scene. With 5, walk into the tunnel, with the garden fading behind you and the tunnel darkening. With 4, you come to the mirror which has soft lighting, so you can see your future life face coming into focus. With 3, getting clearer. First impression. Is that face male or female? Okay, what do you notice? What are your first impressions about your hair, your eyes, your clothes, and your ethnicity?
Uh, my hair's brown. Skin is white.
Mm-hmm. I want you to continue walking down the tunnel
Okay.
so you can emerge into a future life scene relating to your healer's path. With 2 walking to the end of the tunnel, light growing and drawing you forward. With 1 ready to step into a future life. With 0 now. Do you see the same face?
N- no, she has black hair.
Black hair. Okay. And what is her age?
She's 35.
35. Okay, I want you to notice the environment. Is she inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. Okay, now I want you to fully step into this lifetime. Where are you? Inside a house, a building, a barn? What kind of a inside?
It's a building.
And how would you describe it?
It's a office building with, yeah, everybody like different offices.
Mhm. Which country or continent or even city are you in? First thing that pops into your mind.
Asia.
You're in Asia? Okay. Okay. And what year, century, or time period is it in? Just let numbers of a date pop into your mind. Don't censor it. Remembering time goes in any direction.
I'm getting 1980.
Okay. Okay. So, unblock your mind, give yourself full permission to use your imagination. Even if you feel you are not sure, you think it can't make linear, rational sense, go with what you're being shown today, remembering that your soul can send out aspects at any time in multiple timelines, which can seem as the future to your soul. So, what's happening in the building? Are you alone or with people?
I'm with people.
And what are you doing together?
We're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're just gathering and talking in like the center, like the waiting room.
In the waiting room? Okay. And how are you feeling about being in this building?
I feel comfortable, centered, comfortable in my own skin.
Okay. And how are they feeling? What can you observe?
See, I see one lady's reading a magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see another lady sitting and just looking on her phone. And then I'm just saying, I just walked a client out and
Mm-hmm.
we're just saying goodbye and,
Okay.
yeah, smiling, happy.
Okay. And what is your profession?
I'm getting that I'm a psychiatrist.
And are you repeating the patterns of being a healer? How does your psychiatry, how does you in the future see what you're doing as healing? What part of the soul are you healing for these clients?
What do I practice? What kind of psychiatry
So,
or
how do you see yourself as being a healer? Obviously, it's a healing role, but your soul needs to tell us how you personally interpret this as a healing role, because it is a healing role, but we just want to hear the words from you. Why did you choose to do psychiatry in this lifetime?
I wanted to help. I wanted to help others. And I always felt that mental health went was like a silent that many people suffered from it, but didn't talk about it.
Mm.
So I wanted to study it so I could help heal in some way. And that was a strong thing that I wanted to do.
Okay, beautiful. So I want you to move forward in time so that we can be like a fly on the wall to observe you as you're practicing in your field of psychiatry. So perhaps you can learn from that future self by observing your state of being while you do your client practice, or learn from specific abilities now that you can bring back to your current life as Diane. I just want you to see yourself in the room with the client, doors closed, and you're talking with them. I simply want you to notice what you do and the way that you do it. I want you to notice the specific actions that you take and the driving general principles behind those actions. I want you to notice how you respond to any obstacles that come up and make adjustments according to the needs of each person that you work with. I want you to notice how you are responsive and connected to them and your modality in a way that is flexible and creative. So while you observe your future self working with the client, I want you to tell me, for the purpose of recording, how have your future abilities developed? What improvements must you have realized and made?
I really listened to their really listen to them, the client, talk about their symptoms and also what's going on in their daily life.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure to be comfortable with the silence in the room, because even when it's silent, they may when it's silent, they are still thinking about something that they're about to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure to not jump in and fill that time period, that silence, with something, because it's key to give that silence its attention, because something very important can come through that they need to tell me, that either a tool that I can give them, or if or I can determine, do we need to give this medicine more time to work, or is there a medicine just to supplement, or maybe someone they need to work with while we're giving this medicine time.
Mm-hmm.
And another key is to ask not to ask too many questions, but when I do ask questions, to ask work really hard to ask proper questions and to make them succinct and too long, so they can give me the data back that's important that I receive. I need to stay focused too during my meetings with the clients, so it's important to give myself a break between each client,
Mm-hmm.
and also it's important that I'm getting my rest outside
Mm.
and taking care of myself.
So this would contrast, for example, in comparison to when you go to a doctor in your current life as Diane, they jam pack session after session. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I want you to make a mental note now of all these things in your mind so that you can apply these observations to your current career as Diane, because these observations are valid for your current career as well as your future career, okay?
Okay.
All right, in this future, how have your previous blocks to your healing path been left behind?
So, can you explain that a little bit more?
Mm. So, in the previous lifetimes that you've experienced on the healer's path and as Diane across all time, you've faced different blocks that have stopped you from your healing path. In this lifetime, some of those have been left behind and resolved, so they no longer impact you in your confidence and your ability to be a healer. Your mind will show you now an example of a block that you of the future have completely left behind that no longer influences you.
So, it's showing me that when I was in yoga training that I was going to stop because I didn't think I could be a yoga instructor, and then I overcame that.
Okay. And how has that ability to overcome that block in yoga training influenced your future life? Did you come up with a similar block that you just breezed past because of this action?
It what's coming to me is that in my future life, studying was really hard, and when I was going to school
Mm-hmm.
to be a doctor, and that helped me overcome it.
Okay, great. Perfect. All right. So, what I want you to do is to feel the relief, knowing that you can overcome any resistance, which is basically fear of not being able to do something. I want you to get familiar with this feeling of what it's like to operate without those old weights. Feel it lifting off your shoulder, this hesitancy about your abilities to learn or train or do something. Feel that freedom, that confidence that you have in this future life. And I want you to get used to that feeling so that it becomes your new normal and an automatic part of how you will feel from this moment going into the future. Notice how all the things you have learnt in your past lives build and come together. I want you to move to a moment in that lifetime, the future lifetime, to notice how, if there are any challenges or events that come up in this lifetime as a doctor that could have been blocks in the past, but now you deal with them skillfully. So you unblock them before they even become blocks. What's another example?
when I have a client that is really struggling and I need to admit them inpatient in order to balance their medicine out, or
Mhm.
they just really need that help. Y- Now I can talk to them confidently and work with them to get them admitted and help them understand that it's not forever. It's just a short period of time.
Mhm.
Then they'll go back to their life healthy.
Okay, great. Now I want you to move to a moment in this future lifetime where it's like you get a big promotion to a new level as a healer. Notice if if you achieve a level of mastering while doing a form of healing in a session. Notice if you take on a role as a teacher or mentor to healers. What do you see, hear, and feel there now in a moment where you get a big promotion to a new level as a healer?
I feel like, what am I doing? Or what I feel in the body. More like what I'm doing.
So, you, as a doctor, as a psychiatrist in this
Right.
lifetime, I want you to check your mind stream because there's going to be something in that lifetime where you get a huge promotion. You go to the next level of psychiatry, like you have a big breakthrough. And this might be a job promotion, maybe start a new practice. There's something that happens in the future of this girl who's the psychiatrist that's like the next step up. So I want your soul to observe you achieve this great big jump up in healing ability or in relation to your career as a psychiatrist.
So I'm leading or running part of the psychiatry in a hospital.
Okay. Okay. And how do you feel about this?
Just ecstatic.
Mhm. All right. So, in this moment, when you're feeling ecstatic and you are in your future self leading this psychiatry department in the hospital, let that future life you act as a mentor and a teacher to the Diane of 2023. I want you to listen to what your future person, whose name we haven't asked yet, what is her name?
Lillian.
Lillian. Okay, Lillian. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take this opportunity to tell Diane what it is that she needs to know about healing and about leading. And Diane, you can ask Lillian any questions you need to know. Ask to have that level of future life wisdom available to you as a form of intuition in your life in 2023 as Lillian, as Diane, sorry. So what you can do, Diane, is say out loud your question to Lillian. Or you can just relay out loud what Lillian's telling you, whatever comes to your mind first.
Um, what's coming to how did you feel when you started your own practice? How did you feel? How hard was it to get your clients?
Mm-hmm. So, Lillian, how did you feel?
It was scary. I had some days I was wondering what I was doing and why did I go out on my own? But I just kept plugging along. The key for me was to network, to continue to also keep my name out in the medical field and out in, I would continue to get my articles published and be on the medical board in various places. And I also just really lived in the moment with each one of my clients. And I just knew as long as I enjoyed this work and continued with each client, I just knew those referrals came in and just believed in my work. That was the key for me. And I just believed in my work and continued to move ahead every day.
Okay.
And did you ever have moments where you'd question yourself, or there'd be like I don't know, a period where there's a little lull? But sometimes there'd be a lull. It would never last long. And if I questioned myself, I just wouldn't do it long and just would move ahead. And do you have any key words of advice? Believe in yourself and realize with each client you work with, realize the advancements and changes you're making in that individual's life. Know that there's more people coming into your world. And the people that need the healing will come to you. You don't really need to worry much about it.
Now, I want you to ask her to show you the people in her lifetime that are key people. So pause the scene mentally to move to one who's the most significant person who influences her positively on her healer's path. Let the first one be there, noticing their face and their eyes. Is this a friend or family healer or a teacher who is continuing with you on the healer's path?
It's a teacher.
It's a teacher, okay. Okay, so focus in on their eyes, their mannerisms, their energy, and their inner self. And as you focus on these qualities, I want Diane to also be watching to see if this energy of this teacher person is familiar. Do you have a sense that you've met before in any lifetime?
My sense is that it's my energy healer, Mary, that I've worked with
Mhm.
before.
Okay, and in this particular future lifetime, is this Lady Mary a male or a female?
A female.
She was a female in both lifetimes. Okay, great. So how are you two working together to help each other?
She's running another she's running another hospital,
Mhm.
and she's been running the hospital for a while. And was her prof she was my professor at one point
Mhm.
for more than one class.
Mhm.
So I'm I've been asking her some questions on and advice on some,
Mhm.
new things that I've never dealt with before.
Mhm. And what patterns are repeating or mirroring across lives into this future life? What is the karmic dance that you two have been doing across different lifetimes? Have you traditionally worked across different lifetimes together? Is there a common theme or a common way that she appears in your life across different lifetimes?
I don't know why is I just hear consulting. No.
Okay, consulting. That's fine. Your mind will work it out later.
Mhm.
And does this way that you have worked together in these two lifetimes, so the one is Lillian and the one is Diane, when you're working together positively, does this resolve any negative karma or create positive karma? What's the balance here? Are you helping each other because you didn't help each other before, or have you always had a positive karmic relationship for a long time? What's the history?
I'm hearing positive karma.
Mhm. Okay. And how can realizing that you have a karmic connection in your future life enhance your present relationship in Diane's lifetime? Remembering that we don't tell others that we know them from other lifetimes, but how can it help?
That that it'd be good for Diane to actually get some advice and to work with her energy healer on basically for some of this business advice
Mhm. Is
that
that some
there's something there's something that she could actually learn there.
Okay, and had Diane thought of this at all, or is this a new thought to Diane?
It's a new thought.
Okay, alright, so we wanna lock that in, so Diane. When Diane wakes, she'll remember to contact Mary and initiate a consulting friendship where she seeks out advice from Mary, if that's appropriate. Okay, now it's time to thank her. And then I want you to turn around and focus on another key person, just one more person who's influenced you either way. Is this male or female?
Male.
Male. Okay. And is this another relationship from a past or current life that continues into this future life? Or is it a brand new person?
I'm hearing brand new person.
Okay, brand new. And how do they help you fully resolve any blocks or enhance abilities and the levels you can get to as a healer?
I guess there's information there.
All right, so just look at their energy.
Okay.
And I guess the question is, what is it about their energy that attracts you to them in this particular lifetime? And how can Diane use that knowledge about energy for helpful people in her current lifetime? How does Lillian know to trust this person?
He's well known. He's well known at the hospital, and energetically, I feel safe around him. I don't
Okay.
anything bad.
Okay. Great. All right, so we're going to float away and drift away from this lifetime, and we thank Lillian and all of the people in this lifetime. And what we're going to do now is you may have a choice to make in your present life as Diane between options in your healing and career and life direction. Imagine now an alternative choice you could take in this lifetime as Diane. It could be also a choice of the next step in your healer's path, the way you go to the next stage, or staying where you are. So I'll say that again. Come back to Diane's lifetime, currently right now. We know that Diane has 2 careers, doesn't she? Yeah?
Yes.
And I want you to imagine in your mind a choice is going to come up in the future. I want you to see that choice.
Okay.
And I want you to confirm that and say what it's going to be. What is the choice that you want to explore?
It's in the healer, being a healer.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to see that we're telling the external mind to follow the implications of you stepping fully into the healer's path in the current lifetime as Diane. Okay. So we're making the assumption that you've made this choice and that you move as Diane directly into that path fully. Okay. Now we're going to see how that choice, that simple step of moving into that whilst you are Diane, makes an impact on your future life. Okay, so this is not going to go back into the scenario with Lillian. This is now seeing how Diane's implications in 2023 will make an impact on a potential future life when she's no longer Diane, okay? So what we're going to do is with 3, we're going to see a tunnel appear. Okay, and as we walk down this tunnel, we're going to see a light at the end of it. And with 2, we're going to get ready to land in a lifetime which results from the alternative actions and intentions on the healer's path, whereby you have stepped into your full healing path whilst you are Diane. With 1, ready to step into that future life. With 0 now. Okay, so what's your first impression about this lifetime? This next future lifetime?
It's I I feel very centered, like feel very centered, strong.
Now I want you to focus in on yourself. Do you feel masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Okay. And I want you to tell me how old do you feel in this lifetime?
25
25? Okay, and assuming you're on Earth, where are you?
in France.
In France, okay. All right. And what I want you to observe is, are you inside or outside?
Outside.
Outside. Okay, and what is happening in this moment in time?
I'm outside by some pretty river, which the river's there, but then there's shops like by the river.
And how are you by yourself or with others?
I'm with a I'm with a girlfriend,
And what are you doing together?
and I'm showing her one of the I don't own I'm showing her one of the lots or shops. One
Mm-hmm.
of it's empty. It's that I was thinking about renting for my healing business that I'm
Okay.
thinking about it opening it there.
Okay, what kind of healing do you do in this lifetime?
So what I want to do then is I heal. I'm a crystal healer. I seem to do a plethora of things. I also do yoga.
Tell me about each of the things that you do so that we get a full understanding. Take
Okay.
your time.
So I just the crystal healing, I I use the crystals to heal the person,
Mm-hmm.
like energy healing, but I'm just doing straight crystals.
So do you place them on top of the body or around the body, or how does it work? What can you see?
I'll do both on top of the body and around
Mm.
the body. Then I also have some special thing that I'll use the crystals, and you can actually do that. I actually do some type of crystal surgery.
Oh, well, okay.
And I also want to sell crystals there.
Mm. Are these ordinary crystals, or what's interesting about these crystals that we need to know?
They're ordinary crystals. I know I make sure I get them from the right places and travel a little bit to get them. But they're not any different from the regular crystals.
Okay. So how is the yoga similar or different to what you've done in the lifetime as Diane?
This yoga, I'm going to have like a room where I do like the hot yoga.
Mhm.
That's that's different. And then eventually I'm going to actually teach yoga, get people certified to be yoga instructors.
Okay. And you said there was something else that you do? Crystals, yoga, and what was the other thing?
And I'm in the middle of going to school for acupuncture.
Okay.
So eventually I'll do it there.
Okay. Anything else we need to know about that you offer or want to offer in this shop?
Then I'm going to bring oils in and do acupressure and the oils together.
Okay. So I want you to fast forward in time and let us see, do you choose that shop or do you choose a different location? Let's go say 5 years forward in time.
I choose a different location.
Okay. Tell me about this location that you actually chose.
It's a barn, and it ends up it's where I can also have retreats.
Okay. Are you still in France?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little bit out in the countryside, but it's going well.
And why did you choose to go to the country and not remain in the city? What appealed to you about this location?
The open air and just having more space. And then also I can rent out to other folks who want to do retreats. So this way I can have some passive income coming in.
Okay, great. And we were talking 5 years ago about acupuncture, acupressure, yoga certification. What of these has come true?
The the acupressure and the acupuncture, because they were like in the same study. It was easy to combine those two. And the yoga just stayed with teaching, just teaching and not getting not getting people
Okay, not
certified.
certification.
Yeah, just
Okay.
decided that there's a lot.
Okay, all right. And what's the most enjoyable aspect of your career? What do you enjoy the most out of everything that you do?
It's the yoga teaching yoga and setting up for the retreats.
Mhm. And what do you like most about the retreats? What lights up your soul with that?
With the retreats, it's really nice to have a group of people, and they are a lot of times you have them there for that solid day, and that
Mhm,
way I'm mixing in a lot of the modalities that I have
mhm, mhm.
and seeing them learn a lot throughout that day.
Okay. Now, I want to understand, in order to get to this moment in 5 years' time, what blocks did you have to encounter or overcome to get to this point?
I had to get over fear of failure.
Mhm,
Um, there was a definite investment in the property there, so I had to get over that investment,
mhm.
investing.
Did you meet any soulmates who helped you overcome this fear of failure? Like, is there any significant people that helped you overcome this, or did you do this just simply based on your own spiritual strength?
I did some additional work in my spiritual journey,
Mhm,
um, some more deep healing.
mhm,
It was more like deep healing within myself, and
mhm.
that I did.
And what was
And
the focus of this deep healing?
one was releasing what do you money blocks. One Another thing I worked on was I worked before a lot about increasing my self-confidence and believing in myself, but I worked a little bit more on that area.
Okay.
And then the failure area, trying to dig into what I worked on to get over that. It was like that was like at the core of it. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Alright, and I want you to feel the relief of the money blocks being gone. Get familiar with what it is like to operate with these old weights lifted off your shoulders. Get used to this feeling so it becomes the new normal and an automatic part of how you feel from this moment going forward.
I feel like a pain in my back while you're saying that.
Okay, alright. And I don't think we've asked your future self's name. What's your future self's name?
Trinity.
Trinity. Hi, Trinity. I- Can Diane do anything in her current life regarding that pain in her back and the block that will make your life easier? It's a two-part question, or is it something that you need to wait to navigate in that lifetime?
One is more frequent deep tissue massage.
Mhm,
It's it's like her it's embedded like layers.
But if you held a crystal up above it, would you see that it's their past life blocks or emotional blocks or thought blocks?
Emotional.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Trinity, could you please take us to the similar equivalent? We went to another alternative lifetime where your soul was a psychiatrist who got such a huge promotion that they ended up running a department of a psychiatry ward in a hospital. What is it that you do in this lifetime that gives you the same level of satisfaction? So, a big step up in your healer's path sometime before the end of your life that Diane needs to see to witness. Obviously, it's not going to be running a hospital. What's the equivalent in your lifetime in your alternative healing path that you have taken?
I end up one going to many companies
Mm-hmm.
and for and working at they'll have off sites and I'll
Mm-hmm.
be there to teach as if for like a day as part of their off site to teach about ways they can reduce stress
Mm-hmm.
and ex- certain also alternative modalities that they can use. And that also my wellness center has been brought into a lot of these companies in the area where they can come receive treatment and it's covered by the company.
Okay, that sounds good.
And also they also have used my place for a lot of the wellness set, the retreat area to
Mm-hmm.
house there. So that's brought in like a huge financial and it got my name out there also.
Okay, and how do you feel about all of that?
Yeah, I just extremely happy and just even more didn't even expect all of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dream come true.
Great. And can you show Diane of this lifetime if there's a particular soulmate who's important in your life that helps you or that you have in your life to help overcome a karmic pattern? Is something that's really important in this lifetime.
If there's something or or someone.
Yeah, is there someone who's a key significant person that you wish to acknowledge, that you want Diane to know? How sometimes we feel alone and we feel like we have to do things by ourselves. Can you show her who's appeared in your lifetime as Trinity so that you knew that you weren't alone and they were important in your path as a healer?
So she's saying it was it's somebody like a friend of hers
Hmm.
that she started that she met in her yoga training
Okay.
and has stayed in,
Hmm.
they do some of their stuff together.
Okay, lovely. And is there anything that we need to know about this person? Does Diane know them in her current lifetime?
And she's saying it's my colleague who I work with, and
Okay.
it's basically Erica who I started Reiki with.
Okay. Okay. Lovely. All right. I just want you to thank Trinity. Is there anything else I need to know, Trinity, or can we drift away now?
She said we can drift away.
Okay, thank you for your time, Trinity. All right, so Diane, I just want you to drift away back to that healing place where you put that crystal above you and you met and your spirit guides came in. Just want you to drift away and float away and lie yourself back down on a comfortable chair or couch. And we just want to take this moment, Diane, to review the two choices of future lives that you saw. You saw one which was a very mainstream medical, mental orientated clinical lifetime where you were healing in that life as a psychiatrist. And then you saw a much more holistic point of healing which worked with crystals and with acupuncture and acupressure and yoga. How do you as Diane feel? Do you prefer the initial future life, the one with the psychiatry, or do you prefer the crystal-based life? There's no judgment, it's just a gut reaction.
It would be the crystal-based life.
Crystal. Okay, so the preference for the crystal life. And do you have any words or feelings as to why you would choose this one? Both are valid, both have wonderful healing.
Just more out free spirit.
Mhm.
My soul feels like it resonates with that more.
Mhm. Yep.
And would make me happier.
Mhm. Okay.
And it's really important to be happy with what you do
Mhm.
every day.
Okay. I just want to ask your highest self to step closer to you for the moment. And higher self of Diane, what was the main healing or spiritual lesson that you wanted to send Diane from previewing these two options as future lives?
When she was young, she wanted to be a psychiatrist,
Ah, okay.
and she talked to her mom about that.
Mhm.
And I know the thought process was you'd have to do a lot of stuff to be a psychiatrist, and then was just walked on the more like the business path of education.
Mhm.
And that's been a thorn in her side
Mhm.
that she didn't do something like that.
Okay.
So I wanted to show her that now look what she picked.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mm, Diane, can you now set an intent and dedication on the healer's path in this life as Diane that will get you to naturally lead you to the future life with an effortless inner inspiration? What new actions can this vision with the crystals and the yoga and the acupuncture and the acupressure do to motivate or educate you that will be helpful in your present life as Diane?
So what vision now can motivate me in
Mhm.
my future?
So what you saw in your crystal healing life,
Hmm.
what aspect of that can you bring back in to motivate you on your healer's path as Diane?
W- One is um, now I know that I am fulfilling something I've wanted to do ever since I was young. And here I thought I was just finding a second career. And now I know where it's always come from now. That's a huge motivation.
Okay, great.
And I know just the other day, and I didn't know why it came up. I was teaching yoga yesterday. It came up that my client was asking if I was going to do, if I knew acupressure, and I've taken one class in acupressure, and I said, oh, I might get into that. I think I just need a couple more classes to get certified. And it's always been on my mind. And I know that person said, when you get certified, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been dabbling into my head. So that was, and now here it is. So that's something that now shown. And the retreat has always been of interest. It's just, I totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to figure out do I do more yoga or not? And that's a motivator.
Okay.
What I was just.
Okay, great. All right. Now, I would just like to ask your soul group or a member of the soul council to step forward, please. So you begin to feel the presence of an energetic building and a energetic being. Could you describe the room that you're seeing?
It has like green walls.
Does it have what is inside this room?
Um, a chair.
Mm-hmm. Is that for you to sit on? Or
Yeah.
all right, so take a seat on the chair. And then what comes now that you sit on that chair, what do you now see in front of you?
Um, the energetic beings, like the energy is really strong.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe it? Colors, lights, shapes? Do they take a form of some sort? How does it express itself to you?
It's like a strong male energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a shape though.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
like a dark. No, it's like a really dark green.
Green.
Yeah, but the
Okay.
walls were like a light green.
Okay. And this dark green shape, does it give a positive energy? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's
Just
positive. It's
yeah.
positive.
Okay. Just dark green. Yeah. So green is a healing color, so that's good.
Yeah,
Do they have a way that they would like you to refer to them just for the purposes of this session? Obviously, these energetic beings don't have, they're not called Fred or Sam for the purposes of respect.
James.
James. Okay. James, thank you for coming today. James, we're looking for specific advice from the council in terms of letting us know if Diane is on track to fulfill her maximum soul purpose on the healer's path. Can you advise her, please, if there are any actions she should or shouldn't do in the best interest to help her healer's path?
He said yes. He can advise.
Perfect, thank you.
So you want to know if there anything she should do or shouldn't do.
For maximizing her soul potential in the incarnation of Diane as a healer.
She needs to stop doubting herself. She needs to stop worrying about posting on social media.
Okay, yep.
Post on social media if you feel like it and you're having fun. The people who are your true people, some will find you on social media, but most of them won't.
I just want to really just stop there and really let that sink in, Diane, because soul contracts and soul clients will find you whether you're in the desert, on a tropical island, or whether you never ever go on social media ever again, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, James. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
He said it's good you did that.
No worries, it's a trap I fall into too.
Consistency is important in regards to keeping in touch with the folks who did say they with your current clients. So when you have the energy, do send out an email on your mail list. Consistency, energetically that you can do.
Okay.
And keep your website up to date. If you can't do that, and it's too much for whoever you've hired, then you need to hire someone to do it.
And James, there was one thing that I really noticed that didn't appear in either lifetime. Diane has angel attunement. There was a distinct lack of angels and working with the angels in either of those future scenarios. Can you make some comments about that, please?
The reason the energy, the angel attunement, that's fine for the energy level. Why it didn't come up, it's just not driving force.
Okay, not a driving force. Yep.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. It's a nice nice compliment, but not the sole purpose, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's mixed into her intuitive healing.
Right. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is there a particular modality that you guys recommend as best suited to Diane's overall spiritual evolution as a healer? Out of all the things we've seen in the lifetimes today, is there one that resonates as the most important for her soul?
it is the Reiki. And once she's not working
Mhm.
she's not working the other career, and she then has more also, and she hires out a little bit more of these jobs in the business, she'll have more energy when she does the Reiki.
Mhm. Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you wish to comment on before I just take her back into her present life to see a few more things?
Um, she needs to watch when she needs to watch what she does things because of her big heart
Mhm.
that are just not, that spend her energy, and at times there she just can't afford to do that so early in a business.
Okay.
She's gonna watch that.
Okay. All right. It's a bit like throwing in 700 freebies when they're paying for one thing. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
and she needs to watch who she collaborates with, because it's like you said earlier, when
Mhm.
your light shines bright, and not in a bad way, but when you're good at what you do, um,
Mhm.
you you can't just bring everybody along with you.
Yep. Okay. And private, just I'm going to cut this bit right here. Private comment, James. Is there anything else in particular that she needs to work on with Katish for her soul's path? Anything that is urgent or important to highlight?
I'm thinking, I, I
Yeah, no,
feel
don't
like
you
there's
think?
something.
Don't think.
There's
He,
something. Um,
you need to just relax into it, and James will bring it forward if it's important. It's not a thinking thing.
it was
Let me
your. Mhm.
sorry? I was gonna say, let me
Oh,
rephrase it. Do we need to come back for a separate session, for all the other questions that she has, or will these evolve in their own time? As in,
there's something else. There's
yeah, okay.
something else.
Yep, alright. The source session, LBL. Alright. So, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate the Soul Council's, presence. Diane, I just wanna drift you back in time, and what we're gonna do is bring you back to Diane's lifetime just to close the session out. And we don't want to be in 2023. We want to come to a point in the future that Diane's mind wishes to alert her to. And what we want to do is see how in the future you bring back some of the future's abilities and qualities of being, which you have seen in these future lifetimes. And let's see how they naturally manifest later in your current life as Diane after 2023. So let this be a time in a few years in the future, in Diane's current lifetime, at a moment where you can realize, I have reached another level as a healer. Moving to a specific moment in the future of the present life as Diane with 3, letting it come up with 2, another level on the healer's path for Diane with 1, stepping into the moment with 0, now be there. Notice your face and your clothes. Notice where you are. What is your first impression, Diane?
I'm happy,
Mm-hmm.
mm, dressed in a yoga outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in it's it's like a place that I have. I'm inside, I guess is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to say.
Yeah, you're
Inside.
inside. Yep. That's all right.
Right. Yeah.
And I want you to notice how your abilities have been enhanced and how you have a lightness and an ease. Notice how this is what it actually looks like and feels like to be at another level on the healer's path. To allow yourself to radiate and absorb that feeling. And notice just one small detail that you want to bring back. An insight or an understanding, something that will make sense in the future to you. Perhaps it might. Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
No,
What
you
was
go.
that?
What did you?
I'm just I just am seeing that everything's running on schedule, on
Mhm.
time, and I'm not running over on my sessions,
Okay,
which I
great.
do a lot of.
Okay, so that's good. So the
Uh-huh.
organization is smooth
Yeah.
and it's compact. And all right, we'll just let that be. That's all it needs to be. All right, now we want to take your mind to a time, a few days or weeks from the 8th of May 2023. That will take you to a moment that is getting you closer to your next level on the healer's path so that the future gets clearer and more connected to the now. So, stepping with one into the moment that's a few weeks or days or months ahead of the 8th of May. With 0, be there. Are you inside or outside?
Inside.
Okay. What are your thoughts and what are you feeling?
Um, I'm positive.
Hmm.
I feel happy. I'm glad I did this work. I'm thinking as summer's coming that it's time to finally get some help for the technical stuff, the
Hmm.
marketing, scheduling.
Okay. All right. So, what I want you to do is just simply focus, getting clearer and clearer on the feeling of positiveness and happiness, just that emotional side of the feeling, so that it brings with you a deep sense of peace and wisdom that you can bring into your current life back in May of 2023. Just want you to allow the feeling of confidence, positivity, and happiness to wash on over you. And then just lock that feeling in. Okay, Diane, so you've done great to preview possible future moments in this life and future lives on your healer's path. If you wish to see any further potentials or look at any other scenarios, you can repeat this session to get different results. And you can find it easier and easier to go deeper and access your inner spiritual wisdom. At any time, you can speak with your soul council to answer other specific questions. We thank your higher self and spirit guides who we didn't mention but who were here with us today for their help. We ask that they help you integrate this future life recall into your daily life so that anytime you think of this session, you become more present in the now. When you awake, you can write to catch your impressions and to continue to allow your mind to download the teaching lessons from your inner spiritual wisdom. In a moment, I'll count you up to 5, and at 5, you'll come back fully into the moment, feeling good. So coming up with 1, aware of your body with 2, into this time and place with 3, 4, moving your fingers and toes with 5, feeling good, eyes open, refreshed and alert, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feeling good.
This is Diane Bovalino, Reiki Master Yogi with Lotus Soul Healing Arts. I am coming on to do a nice wrap up of the 3 sessions on the Healer's Path. I wanted to share with all of you my experience. Now that you've watched all 3 sessions, I can give you my full experience without revealing anything. So I explained when I jumped in on this opportunity, I had no idea what I was getting into. And I'm so glad that I jumped in on this opportunity. It has just really helped me grow already in my path as a healer. The first thing that was totally amazing was to find out that the one item called breast cancer, which has fueled my business and has really pushed me in to be a healer, was what we found out in session 1 was the main thing in my present life that was holding me back also as a healer. So thankfully to Katische, she helped me heal that in session 1. So that was just such a blessing. Now in session 2, to find out that in a past life, I was on my deathbed saying, I never want to do this again, because all of the work in an alternative healing, basically, I couldn't do it anymore because that one dad said, you can't do it anymore. Of course, now we know why that was holding me back. So I'm so glad to have healed that. And as we all know, taking care of your pain level, that's such a huge part of healing. A cure isn't the only way we heal. So that was huge. And the future life session, just was like the big bow, the big gold bow around the whole package. I think you can see the tears in my eyes a little bit. I just watched that tonight. I remember, I couldn't remember it. It's been a long time, but when it came up to know that in the future life that they session to show me that I wanted to be a psychiatrist, which I remember wanting to be one, and mom saying, oh, that wouldn't be a good idea. And now what my soul really wants is for me to be an alternative healer. That just really now puts that past memory away, because I'm doing now, what I'm really meant to do. And all those questions I got to ask the soul council, and all the questions I got to ask my future life, just is just stuff I've already been incorporating in my business now. So it has impacted me greatly. I am so thankful to Katische for this fabulous opportunity that I had no idea. And the one part that you guys don't know is that my business I've had open since 2019. I do my business, I'd say, about probably not quite full time yet, because I have a full time job that I'm about to retire from. So when I met Katische, I said to her, I'm trying to make a decision about when to retire and do the business full time. So doing this really has helped me spin which way to go with my business and when to make that decision to go into my business full time and retire from the other job. So thank you for watching all of my sessions, and thank you, Katische. You're a fabulous healer, and I'm so blessed to have worked with you. So everyone, thank you again. God bless.